Since you took the time to actually put your own voice to video for a brief sec, proud of you, I thought I'd take the time to respond. Before I begin my response to this edited video, I'll address a couple of things. Since you're brought up and cried, funny you and your old man buddy seem to be the ones who cry, aka complain about others. Then you project that onto the very people you complain about. About my copyright takedown request on your other troll video, I recommend familiarizing yourself with the details and definition of what constitutes fair use as it pertains to a court of law. There are requirements you must meet for it to even be considered as such. You didn't meet those, plus you're not tactful. So I filed my claim. That's how it's supposed to work. You use my work without permission, without attribution, without it being significantly transformative, etc. It's not me who is doing the crying, it's you. I'm protecting my work and my business. YouTube being an extension of my business self-employment. In short, stop crying, as you say. Secondly, are you genuinely curious about my theories, research, hypothesis, conclusions, assertions, etc.? And yes, I employ each and often. Or are you simply trolling, attempting to make me look bad somehow by asking questions that you think will catch me in some kind of lie, grift, deception, stupidity, etc.? Because I often respond to people who are genuinely curious as to how my theories are put together and where I came up with the info. However, I rarely respond to trolls with no tact who come at me with little more than, that doesn't make sense to me, so that's dumb. So which is it? Genuinely curious, trolling me, both? Maybe you're just suspicious because the internet is full of cult leaders, weirdos, imposters, jokers, scammers, and the like, which I get if that's the case, honestly. But Simon, man, put in a little effort and research some of the answers to your questions before asserting your entitlement that I just drop what I'm doing to personally answer you out of thousands of people when you've only come at me with rudeness and disrespect. I have written books on these topics. You could probably ask AI to summarize them at the very least, giving you a better understanding. Hell, the first video on my channel says start here on the thumbnail, start there. Now to respond to your questions. Addressing the citation by Homer regarding the sea being wine dark in color. I believe I explained this in the video. I'll explain the relevance again here as well, since I'm not convinced you paid attention to the entire video. It's quite simple. The color of the surface of the sea reflects the color of the sky above it, saying that the citation doesn't mention the sky and therefore doesn't prove anything about the color of the sky is akin to saying a mirror shows my face, but that doesn't prove that I'm standing in front of it. Exceptions being your likeness shown in a mirror, of course. You asked where it says purple in the citation. Look closely. It's the part where it says wine dark. Dark wine is purple, red. You asked if it's not just purple lights regarding my comment from another video where I discuss another aspect of the plasma apocalypse, that there are many colors of lights that come down from above. The answer is no, it's not just purple. This requires clarification. I realize you're not familiar with my work. Sometimes I address those who are more familiar with my work because it saves me time giving a Plasma 101 course to newcomers each video. I expect new people to have questions. But if the beer are genuinely interested, I also expect them to look a little deeper or at the very least be patient, as there are many elements to this event and it would take years to completely cover them all as evident by my works. Anyhow, here's the simplified answer, which I hope will clear up the confusion for you and provide distinction between the different colors I reference. Ionized hydrogen from the plasmasphere outside of our atmosphere enters into our atmosphere. That gas lights up in the red spectrum when a strong electric current turns through it, changing it into plasma. So those filaments of plasma will be in the red spectrum. The various gases around those filaments will also become ionized locally, gently glowing various colors based on the properties of each individual gas or combination of gases. So the primary color seen in the heavens will be red, with lesser colors not being primary. This is the red sky. The atmosphere will be vaporous due to rapid atmospheric depressurization, diffusing any light and spreading it out across the world as the ionized hydrogen filaments electrify oxygen and other gases at higher altitudes. And that light is seen through the fog above the surface. Those are what I call cosmic lights, plasmas, which move downward from above. There are also what I have named geoplasmas, which emanate upward from within the Earth itself as beams and pillars of light reaching up to the highest parts of the sky, intermingling with the cosmic plasmas. Because of the gas types, altitude, pressure, and temperature, the geoplasmas are primarily in the blue spectrum: blue, light blue, blue, green, baby blue, and sometimes white, with the exception of the initial release of argon, which ionizes a purple color anyway. So we have blue lights coming up from the Earth and red lights in the sky itself. Blue light plus red light equals purple. So you see, the answer is both purple skies, which was the primary focus of the initial video of mine, which you reposted, and multiple colors technically, and red skies primarily, as well as colors given off by local beams of geoplasmas. You asked if it's coming down or going up. I assume you mean the different plasmas I refer to. It's both, as I've said. You asked if I'm speculating or if it's fact. Given that fact is often based on personal bias, limited data perspective, and modern academia, which I often do not agree with, I would not say it's fact. What you're hearing is my use and application of the scientific method. You're hearing hypothesis, observations, research, and conclusions at different points throughout my various videos on the topic, depending on which video it is. In short and simply put, it is my own personal perspective, call it a worldview, on how things happen in ancient history, recent times, and what will happen again in our future, because I also have determined these things to be cyclical. Now, I've been typing for almost an hour. I normally charge people for my time, but this one is on me. I highly recommend actually researching or at least checking out my books, which I often reference, or my website, which has free pages open to the public before asking more questions, which honestly, I don't think were genuine in the first place. I think you're a troll channel who gets your kicks from sharing a jock style sports team mentality, making fun of and insulting others who see things differently or in ways you don't comprehend. You would do well to grow up, mature some, and genuinely be a philosopher, reaching out to those to have honest discourse instead of laughing and name-calling and sharing foolishness as is it amounts to a high IQ. But that's my friendly advice. You can take it or leave it. Kind regards and best wishes for you on your life's path. Jay Dreamers.